Hey everyone, welcome to a special edition of Trading Bitcoin with your host Venzen, and I am joined, of course, by Willy and Venzen. Now, obviously, you can barely see us, but that's because we wanted to bring you this gorgeous scenery from Koh Phangan. There's other names of this island, right? I've heard it called differently. We are in Koh Phangan, met up here yesterday. Get close to the camera. But we're gonna do some other videos. We got like this is like a co-working space. This place is awesome. We're gonna interview some people. A little construction going on behind us, but that's okay. Hopefully that won't pick up. How's the audio? I know that the video is more for the background scenery. We're gonna do a lot of screen share. You can see Willy's hair right there, so you know it's Willy. I have no hair, but man, you know what I learned? This is the first time I'm out in the sun with a shaved head. Man, your head gets sunburned, man. Yeah, and it hurts too.
And it hurts. You could have put some oil on there.
Yeah, we sorry about no videos for a couple of days. It was yeah, we're definitely catching up last night. We have a lot more to catch up on. All right, let's go to screen share, and we'll do some scenic shots at the end. I should just get out of the way. Screen share. Boom. The new and latest conference. Man, everything is always last minute. The conference is coming up. It's in April. Venzen was already looking for flights, but it's so hard to get to Malta from around here, right? Malta 5 to 7. We're gonna do more videos on this. Can't wait to do graphics of all of the speakers in their medieval gear. People are already registering. Everyone always makes fun of the VIP, but hey, you guys are like the supporters of the event. We don't have any official sponsors yet. We have some companies that are involved. Slush Pool, Brains, Trezor is going to be there. Obviously, Blockchain with Adam back. Cool list of speakers. Going to try to convince these guys to come, but there won't be any financial panels. It'll all be about educating about Bitcoin. Enough of the announcements. Oh wait, no, one more workshops. My workshops coming up, and loading. Workshops. Added a bunch of workshops as I travel around Mexico City, Malta, Egypt, Zurich, Hong Kong. Every weekend I will be doing something, okay? And so there you go, guys. Hopefully my audio comes in good. I haven't seen any complaints yet right there if you see complaints about audio. Anyway, let's go to the charts. We're gonna talk about the short-term outlook. We're gonna save the long-term outlook for a future video. We are here for 3 days. Today is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning I leave. So all we have is today and tomorrow. We're gonna try and bring you 2 videos a day. There'll be one more in the evening with the sunset in this vicinity. It's great. And then we'll try to give you guys 2 videos tomorrow. Thursday, Venzen, you gonna come with me to Koh Samui? Thursday morning? Yeah. Thursday, we're in Koh Samui. We'll try to give you a video from there. Willy, you gonna stay here?
I'm on a flight out that afternoon.
Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday.
Thursday. Oh, so we're all gonna go to Koh Samui first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah, I'll join you.
Thursday morning, perfect. Sure. Okay, so maybe we'll do a video maybe we do a video from the ferry, going from here.
What time is the ferry you guys taking?
Probably the earliest.
They're all over. They're all over the show. Yeah.
We'll probably take the earliest ferry Thursday morning, because I got to meet some people in Koh Samui on Thursday. Friday, 6 a.m. I fly to India.
Right.
Anyway, we're not going to look at the long-term chart. We're going to talk more about this tomorrow, my long-term outlook. So, of course, because Tonebase is the greatest timer in the world, my TradingView subscription ran out. So you guys are going to have to deal with some pop-ups here. I'm still, I haven't renewed my subscription yet. I'm working on it. Don't worry, it'll be fixed. I'm cheap. I'm not that cheap. Anyway, I'm figuring out what I want to do. I have the premium, the ultra premium one. Let me. I need a minute to think here. What kind of contract I want to sign with TradingView. So I'm gonna mention this very, very briefly. I was looking for a bear trap at 2,900 before I popped to 5,000. But then a big drop. So if we don't get this bear trap to 2,900, we can easily go up there, right? I mean, this is trading. This is a longer term chart. I think Venzen thinks we can go even higher than this before more downside. I'm not sure what Willy thinks. We're gonna do a longer term outlook probably tomorrow. Let's stick to the short term stuff. Weekly chart. looks great. Again, we're gonna talk more about this tomorrow. Had a green 3 go above a green 2 on the weekly, according to the sequential system. That was a bullish trade on the table, happening right there early this week once we started to pop above last week's high. Daily chart, we're gonna go inside the daily as well. Daily, look at this, broke the moving average, green 2 above a green 1, and we're off to the races. So the daily chart gave you a beautiful trade based on the sequential system that you can still be in. I don't like this candle, however. And the day just ended actually. This is the next day already because it's 11:40 in New York. Let's look to the short-term stuff. This is a 12-hour chart. We'll probably look into this. Again, beautiful green 2 going above a green 1 above the moving average. And the 4-hour chart just gave you a 9. And a 9 that was preceded by a crazy reversal candle, doji / shooting star candle, marked the top right under $4,000. I mean, that's common. I mean, you've been trading for a while. You just went from 3,500 all the way to 4,000, and like clockwork, you didn't actually hit 4,000. You hit 3,955. Because a lot of traders that are smart want to get out before the big round number. So this makes total sense. I would be very cautious right now, looking for a pullback. I'm not looking for any more pops. I think we short-term peaked. I would love to hear Venzen's thoughts. Willy is going to talk to us more about what he's been watching on volume on the blockchain. All right, so that's pretty much it. The stock market has been closed because of the holiday, so I'm really waiting to see that tomorrow, how we open. Gold as well. I have no idea. Gold, I think the gold market has been opened, and gold is popping again, but you still need the stock market to see it. I'm a little surprised here, but hey, the 9 came. You had your 1-2-4 candle correction, rebounded right off the moving average. I thought it would have a little more correction in it, but now you're back to breaking out. So now I am starting to become bullish gold based on technical analysis. A Litecoin I don't care about, though I would like to get these guys' thoughts. All right, so Venzen, let's start with you. My view, if I look at the hourly chart, let's look at that hourly chart of Bitcoin. The hourly chart to me has topped. I am now looking for a pullback before reevaluating the situation. How big can the pullback get? I'm thinking 37.50. What are your thoughts on the hourly or the short-term Bitcoin pop, and what are you thinking?
Hi everybody. Tone, in this chart, 1 hour, I think the time indicator is pretty accurate. Look, it's giving us a 9. There's a massive reversal candle on the 8. That in itself, given that we've done 9 candles from the base of support at, where was it, 3,500?
3.536.
Exactly as you said before, once you rose above those moving averages, that wasn't trade entry. I think most people's system and most indicators showed that in the 1 hour chart. Right now, having reached for 4,000, you gotta take a break. You gotta take some profit, not close your position. This is not the reversal of this trend, I don't believe, but you gotta take some profit at this level and then wait for the pullback. If we look at some bigger time frames, maybe 4 hour, there'll be some other things to see. For instance, the full moon of today, I believe, is a factor, and the full moon today is gonna either reverse price or price is gonna continue through it. If there's a reversal, it's today, yeah, and it
reversal to the downside.
To the downside. Yeah. If it's not, if today is not a reversal, if price will just continue, then we're going to go beyond 4,000. But the pullback here is going to be very, could be, where could it pull back to?
Let's play around with some light. Oh yeah,
that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Like, can we put that maybe over here? We got, man, I'm gonna introduce you to all of these guys here at, oh yeah, we got some light.
That's
If
pretty
we can,
bright.
If we can raise
That's
that
pretty
table.
bright there.
Yeah, if you can put that, if you can bring this light closer and put this light on top of that light, there, and it should be probably a little closer to us even.
It's a
Yeah,
little bit better.
yeah,
Thanks,
it's a little
Steve.
bit better. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you,
And we'll move it a little closer to us, actually. Yeah. Oh, watch that. There you go.
How's that mic?
Yeah, I think you can see us a little bit better now. Yeah, there we are.
Now
There we
you can see
are.
our faces.
Oh, yeah.
and
Maybe
the background.
even a little bit closer.
And the light bulbs,
Yeah,
why not? Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So that's gonna force it.
Oh, my phone.
That thing,
Yeah.
that thing comes down.
There we go. Yeah,
There we go.
perfect.
Force on.
Tone, give me a 4-hour chart.
Don't
Still
dump the
can't see
table.
Willy,
Yeah.
but yeah, so now you
I'll
guys
huddle
can see
over.
us. You guys could also see what's going on
Thank you very
behind
much.
us. Maybe I should have buttoned my shirt up. I didn't expect us to fix the light problem. But
Put your pants back on too.
yeah, that's not helping, Willy.
Please give me a 4-hour chart.
Yeah,
There was
Yeah.
a 4-hour chat, wasn't
That was
No,
1
no,
hour.
1 hour.
1
it?
hour.
Oh, okay.
1 hour is really like close, man. That's like, you know, when
they're not
Oh,
full.
my bad. That was the 4-hour show. That was my fault. Will's the one paying
Oh, Willy
attention,
can
man.
see.
Yeah, take it up to the fundamental analyst to pay attention. I was, but you know what?
Us bumbling Mr. Beans in the 1-hour chart.
Yeah, here's the 1-hour chart. So this is actually really cool because the 1-hour chart did give you a nice 9 right there. Granted, you went further on the spike, and now we're bouncing up again. The 1-hour chart actually looks more bullish to me
Than the 4-hour.
the 4-hour.
The
right?
4-hour chart seems to be at the end of a 9, but we see here that the 9s keep making
Yeah.
sequences, right? Yeah.
But yeah, I know. My subscription ran out.
Trading.
I'm working on it.
Like
I'm
getting free
working, yeah.
advertising there, right?
I'm working on it.
My subscribers are used to that.
I'm working on it.
They're
I'll give
used
you-
to that.
See, my
I don't
subscribers,
pay trading you nothing, man.
my subscribers are used to having it like perfect, like the $40 a month subscription.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I'm now sitting on the other side of the screen. It's not nice.
But,
you've got to have some subscription. to
Yeah.
see those ads.
So
1 hour, the 4-hour
The 4-hour
looks as
looks
if
much
this is
better,
the end.
yeah.
The 4-hour looks like this is the end, and it could go back to 3.7, as you say. Why 3.7? Just give me a moment. 3.7 is likely because
Venzen's got his computer. He's like glancing.
I just
at
looked
his
at
own
my
charts,
chart.
yeah.
If we go back to the 4-hour,
This is the 4-hour.
great. Can you zoom right out? Like maybe give us about 2 weeks worth of price there.
Yep.
If you can normalize it with that little wind, okay, that's great. There is a trend line that we can't see that comes from the January corrective high, which was about 4,200.
Yeah, right.
You
there.
remember in January?
So,
when-
right, so I had that bullish flag that broke out but got stuck and then did this. And this is what I mean about those bar patterns, right? Like you don't know, like here, you went up and then down, and here you went up and up again. But then look what happened. You went down, and then you think you're gonna go up, but you went down first and then up.
Exactly.
Now this was a pretty big move, but if I had to guess which way we were gonna pop for $300, I would have said that.
That's right. You
You
would say
do?
it's going to make a bar. You would say
Yeah.
something like here in the chart with control, right? You'd say it's something.
No, don't hold it, just press it.
Oh, just press it. That. So you'd say, okay, it's gonna drop because we're waiting for support, right? Willy,
Yeah.
you were also saying that we're waiting for 3,000, 300 at least, 3,200.
Well, I was
and we
looking,
never got
I
it.
was looking for 2,900
Yeah.
before the bear trap, right?
That's
And the last time we were on with Willy, this pop just took place. And I said, hey, this is legitimate volume. And I was corrected by Willy when he said, no, it's not legitimate volume because there was no volume on the blockchain. But to me, volume on the blockchain is different type of volume. There is legitimate and no volume on the exchanges. So to me, this volume spike was actually relevant on the exchanges. Now, from a fundamental perspective, this volume is complete, all this volume is irrelevant. Willy pays attention to volume on chain. So, Venzen, you want to say a few more words, or should we get Willy's take on?
I'm just
on-chain
going to say the last thing, that if we draw a trend line from the top left
Let's
of
do
the
it.
chart, you don't have to draw it. It's a bit tedious, but if you do draw
It's
it,
doable.
just a straight line from this
Up
corrected
there or up
line
here?
up here.
I can actually do
It
this.
starts there. You can draw it from there. You see
draw
that?
it.
Red broke that
And
trend line.
hit this cluster here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
see.
I would draw my trend line like this, because the way I draw my trend lines, this is what I teach people.
You
Perfect.
wicks.
I don't care about the wicks as long as I don't break the bodies.
That's right. That's
So in
right.
fact, I can even lower it,
A
I can even
little bit.
lower it like that, and it
Just
becomes,
a funny hair, and then it's right.
and it
You see.
becomes, and up here, I don't mind going right into the wick. So that would be my trend line, as I draw it like that, without it having been broken.
Right, and
yeah,
then you
you're
can see
right.
what it is now that the market tested that.
Yeah.
It was tending towards
We
it,
came
broke through.
close right there too.
If you ask me, in this nervous ninny Bitcoin market, it will want to go back and test that trend line from the top. But how likely is
Right,
that?
but we can also say that we were working on a beautiful symmetric triangle here. Granted, it's only 2 points. Would have been nice to get a third point and go into it, but we already broke out.
We already broke out of the, if that was the triangle.
But even though we broke out, we are still lower high, we are still on our third lower high since December, right? So this still means nothing, because we're still lower than we were in early January. So until we can break above this, unfortunately, we've had other nights to the downside, but if this set of trend line would have went across right here, as long as we stay below 4,000, this is still meaningless.
Yeah, 4,000, that high there has got to be broken.
That's 4,200.
That's
4,240 even.
It's got to be broken. If we do break it, then we have the distance from this bottom of the trend line to that trend line projected up from here, which funny enough lands at 5,000, well, 4,900. In the short-term chart,
exactly.
That's as much as I'm willing to say or can say.
Right, and that is where I had, and that is exactly where I had my bull trap right here at 5,100, which is exactly where it would take us. Now, I thought that we would get momentum to do this off of a head fake. I thought we would fake down and then swing into 5,100. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't simply swing into 5,100. In fact, swinging into 5,100 now and not 4 months from now is probably better from a TA perspective, because it will take you right into the long-term moving averages as opposed to potentially breaking them.
Yeah, and that's good, right? You want to see the price explore its moving averages. That would make sense. That would be nice. But now we're getting into long-term. Now we're getting into long-term.
How we doing on views? We got 725 views right now. Excellent. All right, Willy, let's head over to you. Do you want me to pull up your website? Do you want to talk about what you see on chain or what you don't see on chain?
Yeah, you can pull up the network momentum. Just go to the charts, chartswibble.com.
Will, about 2 months ago, I was saying that price must move higher from that January 4,200.
Right.
And you were saying, no, NVT and was it NVRM or one of your the newer ones said, you said, no, this is going down. It's got to explore the bottom, yeah. And you were absolutely right.
Scroll down a bit. Yeah.
You were absolutely right.
Go down to the momentum. Momentum's good because that's just straight up coins being shifted on the blockchain, right? And maybe just drag your mouse into this zone. You can drag a window.
You want to do this? Do you want to do this whole thing from the down?
Yeah, do that and drag it down.
Area.
Yep, and drag. I just want, and just zoom in there. Yep, good.
I should have gotten to the very top as well.
That's fine. right? Because I actually want to look at these little
I
whiskers.
didn't get the price.
Oh, you want to look at the whiskers that?
Yeah,
really
you want to
pale
see what's happening at these little,
you should
the
change
lighter,
the color of that because it's really interesting.
the lighter band of the brown there, that's
the brown background.
so you got this, yeah, exactly. The solid line is the moving median, but each of the raw values going through the chain is in the lighter color. So you can see what's happening here. What you're seeing here is the movement of coins between hodlers all going into the exchanges. And I don't see
It's
any.
going down.
Yeah, the moving average is going, or the moving median is going down, but
Yeah.
like looking at these little squiggles, right? This is kind of like the heartbeat of the movement of coins between hodlers. And there's not much happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, normally you would see a decent spike in volume. Like you see how we had this movement when real coins shifted. Let's see if I can go in a little bit more, and maybe we can stretch this out a bit more. You see how we got some real movement between hodlers in this light line as the 6,000 broke, right, and it started to plummet. You started to see some real coins changing hands between people. And what I see right now, there's not much happening. So when you go to the charts, I can see that a whole lot of traders are trading technicals. And I can't see until these coins start moving. I don't see how I don't think you can sustain these new levels without the on-chain volume moving up. So the other thing I noticed was the order book strength. You can go to Bitcoinity. They track the order books.
Tried it out.
Bitcoinity.
There was real heavy transaction fees. The mempool got real busy in February, early Feb. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Oh yeah.
I think there.
Yeah, the chain, the mempool got real busy in February. There were days when
I think that's maybe that's not the right side. Markets, try that.
There were days when the activity really spiked, and that's what those squiggles mean in your chart, right? Blockchain coins moving.
Yeah, I can't find. Maybe it's the data.
What are we looking for?
The order book.
What are you proposing? That the exchange volume is not high?
I'm just going to show you how a lot of the...
But BitMEX is a derivative exchange.
Yeah, but I found that if you map this to price, it's very... it does tell quite a lot. Like it does move with the price more than any other exchange. I'm just trying to
Asks and bids.
Asks and bids. And
so what's the red? I don't see it. Oh, there's the legend. Asks and bids, okay.
Right, and so maybe 5%.
Yeah.
5-10%.
Somebody was mentioning something about last night when we were having the conversation outside. Somebody was mentioning something about Binance, and that there is a company that would like to take Binance to task about faking their volume.
Right.
Did you guys hear that? The difference between,
more,
I mean,
right?
all of us allege that exchange volume is mostly fake, right? And we don't know. But this company apparently has proof, and well, let's see if the apparently becomes evidence, right?
So if we look at this, the asks spiked down right before the pump of the price. And you can see how the asks disappeared as the price started pumping the last time, which makes sense. And the bids, I mean, like you can, the bids and the asks were both out as the last pump happened. On this pump, it's a little bit different. Yeah, it's
you can looking at this as on the ramp up of this first, where's that gray? That's the first pump, right? You can see the bids were bidding up, while the asks stayed level. So the order books were pushing the price up and up and up, and then eventually, when the asks gave way and dipped, the thing exploded right around there. And
yeah. That pretty much matches the psychology of what's happening in the middle here, where price is going sideways, people are going along.
That didn't really happen on this recent pump.
No, it didn't.
The thing to notice though is like we're in a bull zone here. These are on the same axis, right? So you've got right now you've got very strong bids and very little asks. So it's in a bullish setup right there. And I don't think it's ready to come down until the red goes above the green. There's more asks. And because there's no volume on the chain, I just think that this stuff is dictating, like a lot of the market makers are dictating the price right now.
Yeah, you can see it right here. So on being on the same axis, though I'm sure if I adjust how did you adjust it?
I don't think you can this one. It's pretty steady.
You gotta pick
You can choose the time frame.
Okay. Like here, the asks shot up, bids did not, and boom, price dipped. That's pretty telling.
That's pretty telling.
You can probably time this off some profitable trading. I don't know why you're sharing it.
Guys, good point. Guys, one thing I'd like to point out here is in terms of the order book, right? We're not looking at active trades when we're looking at bids and asks. We're looking at orders that are lying dormant.
That's right.
In the order book.
That's right.
In other words, it's a passive trader. He's putting his bid or his ask somewhere, hoping somebody else trades it.
Yeah,
hoping somebody else consumes it. When we look at what price is doing, price is the active traders who are actually consuming those things. So for instance, if I get a signal in my chart and I choose to trade, I don't go and put a bid in the order book. No, I just do a market trade. I just grab what is there already, right?
Yeah.
So those are the traders who are moving the price around. These guys are ones who are speculating what price might do, and they put their bids and ask either side.
What I saw with a lot in the altcoin trade, I learned to trade on alts, and you'd see these walls move back and forth, and there was some amount of intelligence behind it because they were the walls of whales shepherding the price around. And what I see right now is that that's probably what's caused both of these moves.
Right.
These walls
so
shifting things.
We will have to see what happens because if this doesn't come down, then it must conquer 4,000, and after 4,000 is only 5,000. It's a previous high of 4,200.
Yeah, we're already pulling back on the 4-hour chart a little bit, right? Because we were all the way at the top 20 minutes ago when we were talking. The hourly chart's pulling back. So basically, if I'm looking at the hourly chart right here, if we go below this line, I think it's going to dip hard on a pullback.
The other thing I noticed when on the first pump, after the first pump, there was a lot of very, very small volume pushing the price up. And I was reading the tape, and every time we had an up whisker, there was about a 10-to-1 ratio of volume dumping on it.
Yeah.
Yet the candles didn't close out red.
Yeah. You know what I think that dumping is? That is nervous profit taking, not somebody actually going short, not somebody selling because they don't believe in Bitcoin anymore. It's guys who had been long who sell because they're like, oh my God, is it going to go higher? I don't think so. Let me sell. You know, that kind of psychology as well.
I should probably keep an eye on that question.
We haven't been.
I got an interesting comment. Someone says 4,200 is the biggest resistance incoming. No, 4,200 is not resistance anymore, right? Like people keep making these mistakes. Like, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to tell people, resistance is usually only resistance once. 4,200 has been crazy resistance already. It's not resistance anymore. It's a level that is going to break if we make it back up there.
Exactly.
Like again, this is no longer support. And this is why people were so wrong on 6,000 being the permanent low. And then the moment it broke, it fell 50%.
Yeah.
Like, guys, there's no resistance. If resistance gets touched for the second and third time, it is like nothing. It's like useless at this point. It's just a level that is gonna get overtaken. There's always a chance that 4,200 is gonna reject us. And then we go back to 2,000 from 4,200. The probability of that happening in my eyes is 10%. If the price of Bitcoin goes back to 4,200, I give it like a 90% chance it's going to 5,000.
Yeah. We'll see closer to the time, but from what you just described, that seems the highest probability. If it gets there, it'll go through.
Right.
Yeah. The chat is great though. I've been reading some of the chat comments.
Yeah.
You got the worst and the best in your chat.
I know. Someone says they caught the green 2 above the green 1 on a 3-hour, 6-hour, and 1 day, which was at 36.40. Great trade, buddy. This is
that was the entry level. Yeah.
Right. So again, he combined multiple time frames. He used the 3-hour, 6-hour, and 1 day. So if I just glance at that, here is the 1 day. Here is the 2 going above a 1 on the 1 day. Unfortunately, I am now on a free version of TradingView, so I can't actually check your
6-hour and 12.
6-hour.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I could.
It's going to complain. Try.
Is it going to complain? Let me use the 4-hour chart, right? So if I use, because I haven't pre-created, right? When you pre-create stuff, it usually, so here's the 6-hour. No, I got it.
Gave it.
Oh, no, I didn't. Damn it, it complained. Anyway, yeah, so I have to, at the moment I can't do it, but yeah, so he used so it all happened on the say 3-hour, 6-hour, and 1 day, all had a green 2 going above a green 1 at the same price. And that looks like it was, he said it was 36.40 and he got the move.
Very good. Can I show you where I got that trade?
You did the bullish trade here as well?
I'm in a bullish trade. My subscribers are, and this was our logic. If price closes a 4-hour candle above this moving average and it reopens it, then we're in. And that was the moving average you're using is not this one.
These are daily candles.
Yeah. Sorry. In the 4-hour chart, you got a moving average just here at about 3,650 or 3,680. Yeah. Okay, so my moving average is a bit
right here.
I've got the additional ones for.
You could have different. I'm using 30, 50, 200. You might be using different averages.
Right. So when price opened this candle.
That candle.
Yeah, and it stayed above the moving average, which is this level. We got in. The moving average got tested by price and advance again. So that was about the safest entry, and your indicator made exactly the same sequence. Right.
Let's
on that.
So here, so this is Venzen's group bought here. So we know for tomorrow and stuff. All right, you guys got in there. Nice. Good job, man. Good trade. Are you taking a profit already?
Take some profit, but I don't think it's going to reverse too deep.
No, but it has a very high probability of reversing back to this area.
If it does, it'll break trend, and then we've got to close the trade completely. Right? But for now, it's not doing that.
I really think the pullback should stay above 7,500, and then take one more leg up to 5,000 at this point. I am basically more optimistic to 5,000 at this point than my 2,900. It looks like we may not get to 2,900. We may go to 5,000 and then correct.
We'll discuss that tonight.
We'll discuss that, yeah, at a later video. We're going to talk more about our longer term perspectives. But right now, I am watching this 4-hour candle. We're not going to be with you for the next 3 hours, but I mean, I would need the current candle to close above the tip of this 6 to anticipate more immediate upside.
Okay. When would you get a color flip here? What's your rule again to get a?
Oh, like a red 1?
Yeah.
Oh, next candle will do it if it closes below this.
Below
so 9 gets compared to the 6. This will stay as a 9 as long as it's above the top of the 5, the body. So that means next candle, if it closes below the top of the 6 candle, so the close of candle number 6 is 38.65, and right now we're at 38.74. So a $10 drop. Next candle, $10 lower than right now, make that $5 lower than right now, gives you a red price flip.
All right.
Yeah, this is
that would also that would probably coincide in my method with a reversal signal, you know, and then we would close position completely. But as long as it remains sort of above this red trend line that you've got there, the support, I would remain 50% in the trade.
Right. Now I will say this, right? According to my rules of TD, there was a short trade right there at 38.50. There was a short trade.
But would you take it?
Yeah, I would.
You would?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would have. Or I probably would have already been in the short trade, right? Because of this 9.
Okay.
So I have an hourly 9 that took place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours ago, right? So this hourly 9 is taking place on this 7 candle right here, coming right off the top. It was taking place right here, right? So we'll go back to the hourly chart. You see you top here, but then you had higher closes. This was the first red close on this entire move. See how every candle is a bullish candle, right? This is the first weak candle. This is not a perfected 9. So this is where the TD purists got me, okay? I'm not a TD purist. I have my own styles, right? So a TD purist will say, this is not a perfected 9. To be a perfected 9, you needed to break the high of this 6 candle. So because it's not a perfected 9, you should not be jumping in on the reversal, because it's very likely that soon after the 9, it will become perfected.
Yeah.
And it did. And then it took a dive, right?
That's
so
right.
The TD purist traders got me here. But I can point to many other times where it would not have worked, right? As long as you're consistent, as long as you're consistent, as long as you're not,
if you repeat the same thing over and over, and it's money managed.
It's money management, right?
Yeah.
So with me, and again, this is what I normally teach in my workshops. With me, this would be a 9 on the hourly chart that took place at 1400. I want to make sure I'm on New York time here. So on a 4-hour chart, I'm not on New York time here, I'm UTC time shit. So I have a time mismatch between these charts. So this is UTC time, so it's not 1400, it would be I need to, let me put this on UTC time, hold on. So if I make this UTC time instead of New York time,
You got
UTC right there, okay. So if I put this on UTC time, this 9 took place at 1900 on February 9th. So it would have been the last candle, second last candle. Okay, so if I go to the 4-hour chart, 1900 is right before the 7 candle. That's the 20, right? So it would have been here at the end in the last hour of this candle, right? So the 4-hour is only a 6. But the 1 hour is already on a 9.
Right,
so it's possible I would not have taken the trade. So I might have lied to you guys earlier, right? So I would have been hesitant in taking this trade. Now, if this 9 came at the end of on candle number 8 instead of candle number 6 on a 4-hour chart, I would have been way more eager to take it, right?
Sure.
But let's say you did take this trade. I would have initially dropped in a short at the end of this 9 candle. It's the first weak candle. I'm looking for a 1 to 4 candle reversal and then more upside. And that looks like exactly what happened. It was a 4 candle reversal. I might have even added to, you coming back?
Yeah.
Okay. I might have even added to the short trade when I saw the red 2 going below red 1, because it was already a profitable trade. I love adding to profitable trades.
Sure.
I hate adding to losing trades, but I love adding to profitable trades. But then my stop loss would have gotten hit somewhere either on this price flip or certainly on a green 2 going below a green 1.
Yeah.
At this point, the hourly 9, in my eyes, is treated as a 1 to 4 candle correction and then acceleration back to the upside. But this upside is going to come to an end very soon, because the 4-hour chart is on its own 9.
So it needs a candle
So now there is a slight mismatch. You know, a perfect situation would have been the 1 to 4 candle correction ending earlier, and then a slow grind upward spike and down spike. And now you have the 13 candle countdown,
There we go.
which may have taken 16 candles, giving you 3 candles in a 4-hour chart, leading you into the countdown 13 on the hourly chart, in line with the sequential 9 on a 4-hour chart.
Sure.
Now you have the 13 sell on the hourly and the 9 sell on the 4-hour. Combine that with the 12-hour chart and the daily chart are still very bullish, right? But at least now you can look for a bigger correction. So right now there's huge time mismatches within TD, but look, we're already seeing a red candle here. So I would be short term out of this trade, but if we can close back above the 6 candle after a 1 to 4 candle pullback, I would be then more bullish. Or if I saw a reversal candle, if there was a spike down to 1300, a back up to 3800, followed by a slight bullish candle, I would be once again looking to enter. So I am looking for a short-term pullback based on mostly the 4-hour chart.
Most of the, you know what, can I quickly show my logic in this one? If we're looking at a 4-hour chart now, and this is, you know, we had a spike higher last week. Thank you, TradingView, were they selling us this time? You get price moving out of an area, it conquers a moving average. It consolidates on top of the moving average and breaks higher. During this break higher, it's breaking higher time frame, larger time frame moving averages. To me, this signifies trend. We don't have a confirmed trend because these consolidations take so long, you know, that's really long. But the longer that consolidation takes, the more kinetic energy it's building in that horizontal phase before shooting higher. So as we're going higher, I'm still betting there's more upside to it. I'm thinking that we're, sorry, I'm about to move it. Can I move the mouse?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking that as long as there's evidence of trend, you've got to stay in the trade.
And you have a control button here if you want
to highlight. As long as there is evidence of trend, my trading rules is stay in the trade. Don't get out.
Momentum.
Yeah, just stay there. Don't get scared. You know, because it's when you get scared that it just carries on without you. And then how do you get in? Because you had a brilliant opportunity to get in down here. That was an opportunity to get in. You're not going to get another nicely defined tight one like that. The reason I would not have taken, I'm going to drop. We're in.
What's your criteria for getting out of the trade completely? Moving average cross.
Yeah, there's going to be moving averages. So as long as, if we just use the moving averages that are here on the chart, not necessarily my moving averages, as long as price remains above that moving average, I'd remain in the trade. And that's how we do as a group. Yeah. So we just watch moving averages and it's basically like, well, our trade is still open. And the next day, well, our trade is still open. Like, oh, we're testing the moving average. Be prepared to like, take some profit or close, you know. Why I would not have taken this particular short here, Tone, and it fulfilled your criteria.
Like I said, I probably wouldn't have because the daily, the 12-hour were all the weekly were all breaking out, and the 4-hour was only on a 6. So I probably would not have taken the short, but I explained it if those that did, how what the thought process would have
been. And what the consequence would have been, because they would have probably broken out, they would have come out break even.
They should have come out break even or a tiny loss.
Yeah. The only reason I wouldn't trade that kind of thing, and even if it becomes a deeper correction back to 3,700, the only reason I wouldn't trade that is because one of my rules of trading is if the trend is up, then don't trade down.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that is my rule as well, unless I'm able to time a top between candlesticks and TD.
Yeah.
And this top in TD wasn't great.
Exactly.
So I probably would not have taken that trade.
You see, and because and you probably wouldn't have, and because I'm trend trading, there's certain trades that are processed like corrective trades that happen. You know, the price is trending up and then you get a great pullback. I'm missing that trade because I'm trend trading and my rules are geared towards trend trading. But with your method, Tone, there was a trade there.
Right.
The TD is allowing you to profit during
Now,
corrections,
here's
right?
the thing. This is the last candle. This was the last pump, right? This was
last week. Yeah.
This was like 2 weeks ago now, I think. So this was a big move. So this is a 4-hour candle that was the 9 candle. Now, if at the end of this candle, right? Because look, this candle ended near the top. We can go back to the hourly chart. This was the 1600 candle. So the top would have come in around hour 1500 on February 8th, right? So if I go to the hourly chart and we go and take a look at February 8th, around the 15-hour mark, February 8th.
Oh, no, it still didn't get it. So,
okay, yeah, 0.8. So if we go and take a look at that, right, this is the hourly chart. Now this is the beauty of this thing, right? So right here, here's your 16. So literally, this is your 9 on the hourly, and this was the last hour of a 4-hour 9.
Oh, okay.
And this is what I mean. And it was a sequential 13 and a 9. Now you're still in a little bit of trouble here because that's a long hour, right? So if you shorten in the beginning of this hour, you better have a really high-end stop loss, right? But the point is your 4-hour is telling you you've topped on this candle. The 1 hour, the last hour of your 4-hour candle is telling you you've topped, right? So if the 4-hour candle starts over here, right? This is the last 4-hour candle. So this is hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, and hour 4. So you're going into like, okay, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle. When this candle begins, you're like, holy shit, I have a 913 on the hourly. I have a 9 on the 4-hour.
Yeah.
This candle should probably be my top. Now you can zoom in further. Now if we go in and see if we can take a look at, let's say, a 10-minute chart, if it lets
it's gonna complain about that.
It's gonna complain about that still, right?
Complain.
So I can't go lower than a 1 hour?
You can only go to those predefined.
Which are what? Like, I don't know what they are.
It's going to be 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, 4 hours.
Oh, so 15 minute I can use.
You
I
can
use that. That's fine. I can use 15. Like I don't know what the predefined ones are.
Yeah.
So like I said, I've always had a paid version. So now if I go back to the same date on this, on a 15 minute, there it is, right?
Just with swing. Okay, you did the right.
So here's the 15 minute on that day, right? So where's the top on a 15 minute? Here it is, right? So on a 15-minute candle, this was also a 9, right? I'm curious what the 10-minute was, but I don't have access to it, right?
Sure.
So it's possible you're like, holy shit, this is my last hour of trading, right? So let me see here, 16:45, 17. This was the last 15 minutes of the last hour of the last 4 hours, and it's already at 7. So you know your 15 minutes. I really wonder what happened on a 10-minute chart. I really, really do, right? Because I love the 10-minute chart. I hate the 15-minute chart.
Probably that 10-minute chart, the last 10 minutes of that hour of the last day.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Right. So you can literally time not only the exit, but like you can time your like opposite of a knife catch, right?
Sure.
You can take a chance. You're like, holy shit, I have a 10-minute, a 1 hour, a 4 hour, all on 9s and 13s. Like you can probably even attempt to do it to the minute.
And 5 and 1.
Right. And you're like, you know what? I'm gonna take a shot that this is the top based on time, nothing to do with price.
Exactly.
And this is what I mean. I don't like to short in a bull market either, but when the stars and the moon and the sun line up,
like now,
right? Well, like what happened at the very last
minute would have been
on the pump,
you know what it
you can catch an amazing trade.
And this is just time, right?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Muddy Waters song, on the 7th hour of the 7th day.
Yeah.
The 7 doctors say.
No, I will say, like, people are like, well, Toad, how come you didn't trade this? Well, because I was probably on an airplane somewhere, right?
Oh my God. That's the worst.
Right. Like, because I'm sorry, guys, like, I don't sit here and watch the market. Like, when I was a trader, I did, right? When I was a trader, and then it's possible I could be looking at a different asset and I still miss it, right? Like,
this is actually happened to me at the 2000 crash. I was on a plane, 36 hours flying to America.
Weren't you short already though?
I was, but I wanted to add volume when it happened.
Yeah, as it happened.
And I remember the bear whale incident that took place in 2015. I was on a plane like across the on like a 14-hour flight during the famous bear whale.
What was the event again? What happened?
No, nothing. It was just the price crashed from 300 to 150, marking the very low. This was January
2015. January, yeah.
Like the entire bear whale like freak out. I was on an airplane the whole time.
I happened to be right there while it was happening, and it looked pretty much like that drop from 6,000.
Yeah.
It was the same kind of platform.
Right. If only it happened from 3,000 to 1,500, this whole thing would have been over.
It would have been over,
but it happened too high.
Right. Can I say one more thing?
Let's go back to the 1 hour chart where this is.
It doesn't matter which chart we're in. I just want to make a comment about the TD indicator.
Focus, please.
Because before I said that I'm a trend trader, and therefore I cannot take any trade that is contrary to the direction of trend. Right? And you're saying you believe the same thing.
Yeah.
However, with the TD indicator, if you can find during this consolidation phase, there are trades. Not necessarily this, but during the consolidation, there are green twos going above a green one, a green three.
You got to be careful. Once it gets choppy like this, you're better off just setting an alert. I'll just wait for a 9 and then I'll start.
If you're a day trader like me, and you're going to see that every 1 or 2 days, that is a trade that you can take with this indicator, but you cannot take it with the method I use with moving averages, because if there is no trend, the moving averages just look like a dog's breakfast.
No signal.
Yeah.
All right, you guys we've been on for almost an hour. I think this was good short term for people, and then we'll save our commentary. And this is literally like a resort at the top of a hill. You should be able to see, I think it's enough charts for the day. You should be able to see behind us. This is absolutely gorgeous. We haven't even gotten down there to the beach yet. We are in Koh Phangan. I will post the location where we are after we leave.
After we leave.
And this is a resort in Koh Phangan owned by crypto people. Everybody here, like we didn't even know what to expect. They got about maybe 20, 30 rooms here.
20, 30 rooms. Each one's got a crypto person.
Each one's got a crypto person here. So we're like surrounded by crypto people right now.
I was real surprised about that.
Some of them are working on ICO stuff, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
But it's a really great place. Really enjoyed it. The full moon parties tonight. This was not planned. We're gonna go check out the full moon party, see what's going on, and we'll probably do a video before we go. Do a video around sunset time. So join us in about 6 hours, and we'll bring you one more video. Maybe we'll interview some people around here. We're here all day tomorrow as well, and then off to Costa Rica, and then I'm off to India the next day.
Yeah, I'm off to Thailand.
Yeah, you're staying. Yeah. And Willy, where are you flying to after?
Bangkok and then Bali.
And then Bali. You gonna go back to Bali?
Yeah, then South by Southwest.
You're gonna go.
I'll be speaking South by Southwest.
So after South by Southwest, when is South by Southwest? That's in March, right?
Yeah, it's March. I think it's 7th to 15th or something.
And then you're gonna go back to Asia.
Looking to go to Europe. Yeah.
So why don't you come to Malta, man?
Oh, looking at it.
Hey,
I haven't booked it. I haven't, it's like I could have booked it.
We gotta get Willy to Malta if he's gonna be in Europe. Malta and Mallorca, I'm there at the end of March.
Right.
So we can check it out. Oh, by the way, guys, I am gonna go back to screen share for 1 second before we end. I want to go back to the website. Check out. These are my workshops, of course. Check out the new conference. This is where I'm soliciting Willy to come to meet all the core developers and stuff. It's gonna be great. But you can check out my calendar and. Oh, where did that go? I have to go to the homepage. Okay. So if you go to my homepage, we're at a store. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm like afraid to click on it. I'm not going to show it to you, so I have no idea what it is. I haven't seen it yet. We're going to start selling tone-based merchandise, but no, general merchandise. But let me not experiment on live air. But I will go to my calendar so that I remember when the hell and where I'm going. So if you go to the calendar, February is almost over. We're gonna make this look even cooler. But Oh yeah, there it is. In case you don't know what that flag is, Austria and India and Austria. But in March, after South by Southwest, I will be in Mallorca. So if you come to Europe, stop by Mallorca. You're welcome in Egypt. And then, of course, here is Malta in March. That leads us into April. And in April, I may stick around Europe for a minute. We got to find a way to display two things here. This is Mallorca. I will go to Mexico for Talent Land, but there's other stuff going on in Europe here. But eventually, I may have to, like to sleep in my bed at least one night every 3 months. So, but yeah, that's basically my plan. You guys can see what countries I'm in as I travel the world. All right. On this note, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Please check out the Understanding Bitcoin conference, where we will be educating people why and how, on the why and the how you should be using Bitcoin. Real Bitcoin, not fake Bitcoin. I'm sure everyone knows what I mean there. And we're still we're still in talks with some other speakers right now to make it really cool. All right, guys. Enough screen share. We'll give you one more look at the scenery behind us in Koh Phangan. Clone Base signing off. Venzen.
Bye, everybody. Thank you very much.
See you guys
And
later.
Willy. Thank you all.